Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. It's been a while since I've had a chance to sit down and enjoy and share some thoughts with you. But tonight, I think perhaps it's time to refresh and renew our connection and discuss something of interest. Tonight, I have a subject of interesting caliber, and that is beauty. I'd like to share with you some thoughts about what is beauty. Why is it that we are drawn and attracted or we pursue a beautiful woman? And of course, as you know, every woman in the world is beautiful because the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And what is not so tasteful to someone over there may be exactly the beauty that I am looking for according to what I expect beauty to be, what beauty means to me, what interests me, what attributes I call beautiful. So again, this, what I like or what somebody else likes and somebody else doesn't like, is not a reflection on woman and how beautiful she is or she's not. It's a reflection on the fact that each person, each man, has a different taste in different things, including in other human beings and a different woman. And I'm sure women have their own differences in the way they prefer, physically and mentally what their partner should look like or what interests them physically. But the discussion roams around what is beauty? What does beauty do to us that we pursue it? Why do we pursue beauty? Whatever it is that we call beauty. Again, I said different people call different things beautiful. So we're talking about on that level. It has nothing to do with what standard or ultimate beauty is, because there is no such thing. So the question is, what does beauty mean? What is the reflection of beauty on my consciousness? What does beauty translates into? What is the definition of beauty? What kind of emotion, what kind of a reason, what kind of a thought beauty creates in me? Because beside the obvious reasons that whatever you may call beauty, whatever a man calls beauty, excites me physically and sexually, and that's beside it. We want to go deeper in that. And what is really beauty means to us that keeps us pursuing it, and we think it is so important. Why is it so important? What is its reflection on our consciousness? What is its translation to us? Because we know the physical translation of it is the intimacy, sexual interest, and so on. But that's very shallow because, as you know, you may have an encounter or acquaintance with someone that you call beautiful, exceptionally beautiful, but then that same physical beauty, or within the next short while, is no longer the reason for you guys to stay together or be bonded. And often it has no bearing on the length of and duration of the relationship, and the relationship severs. Even though you thought she was just one of the most beautiful women that you had ever seen, but still the relationship doesn't hold and is severed. So how come then? So what is it that holds the relationship? We know it definitely is not the physical beauty that holds and bonds the relationship and helps the relationship last. It may be in the outset the physical beauty creates an attraction, the beauty that one calls according to his taste and standards is beauty, and to each person different, as we all know. But at the outset, that may be the reason that why the man pursues the woman, because to his standards, that is what beauty means. But it's a physical beauty. But that physical beauty, even, that what he calls beauty, what does it translate to in his consciousness? What does it represent that he's excited about, that he finds it attractive, that he finds it something they should pursue? What is the currency that he thinks beauty is measured by in his consciousness? What is the unit of importance? What gives beauty importance? What beauty is translated into? What is the definition of beauty? There has to be a value other than that obvious physical appearance that is pleasant to you. Again, this conversation is pretty much geared toward boys, my younger friends who are male. We're talking for boys' point of view here. So again, you guys, you girls, plug your ears out. I don't know how you can benefit from this conversation, but hey, here it is. It's not for you. It's for the boys. So then, we were talking about what is the translation of beauty. What does it mean to us? Why is it that we go after beauty? What do we think beauty is? Why do we think beauty is important? Because its translation in your consciousness is beyond that physical appearance. Its translation in your consciousness is intelligence. Haven't you noticed when you see a beautiful woman, you quickly think of her not just the excitement you get from that physical beauty, her attributes, physical attributes. You quickly translate it into organization, smartness, intelligence, togetherness, seriousness, accountability, responsibility, all the qualities that one is looking for, and it's valuable. So really, beauty, beside the fact that it attracts you physically, but beyond that, it has a bigger meaning, a bigger effect on you, and that is what it translates into your consciousness. And it translates into intelligence. So really, in fact, you are pursuing intelligence. However, intelligence is represented in your mind by physical beauty, because physical beauty somehow represents you, reminds you of synchronization, discipline, cleanliness, health, smartness, intelligence, innovations, abilities, accountability, response. All these things is really what you think beauty is. Otherwise, often you could be attracted to a beautiful woman, but as soon as you communicate with her, you lose total interest, because you don't consider that beauty did do justice and represent intelligence, because you find the level she operates on is not the kind of intelligence that you would identify with. So therefore, the relationship severs. So again, then, it's not the beauty that keeps the relationship bonded and holds it together. It's the other attributes of a person, of the woman, which is the smarts and abilities and intelligence and so on and so forth. So when you get together with a beautiful woman, if she lacks these other qualities we just talked about, the intelligence, the smarts, and accountability, responsibility, and all those things, it doesn't last long. And often you know that you have fallen in love with a woman that, to your taste and standards, does not include the beauty, what you call beauty. According to your standards, which each man has a different definition of beauty for himself, you get to know and you fall in love with a woman that is not represented by the standards that you call beauty, but yet you fall in love with her. Why? Because you get to know her and you see her smarts and her manners and her attitudes and her intelligence, and that's really where the attraction lies, where the attraction is, where the secret of bonding and holding together is. So therefore, you know that even though she didn't represent the kind of beauty that you were expecting physically, but you fell in love with her. And on the other side, you got to know a beautiful woman into your standards and had everything that you wanted her to have physically, but you lost interest just as soon or faster than you became interested. So then we go back to the fact that definition of beauty in your mind is really intelligence. So you're really falling in love with intelligence. So might as well look for a person, a partner, who does represent way beyond that aesthetic beauty, that what is just skin deep. Because definitely that is not what's going to hold the relationship together. Because to begin with, beauty to you means intelligence and smartness. So might as well go for the real thing, which is intelligence and smartness. And don't be fooled by the aesthetic beauty that you call beauty and think that that is what you should be looking for and that is what's going to hold it together, because it is not. Personally, I experienced, all of us boys probably have experienced different girls in our lifetime, and the experience has been that we went out with an exceptionally beautiful woman, what we would call, each one of us call different thing beautiful, but what we would call beautiful, and then it was not what we were looking for. So we know that the beauty itself, the physical beauty itself, is not really what's going to hold it together, because just like what beauty means, the picture of beauty, pictorial of the word beauty, and what you see is really not what you're attracted. What you see, you represent it, to you it represents intelligence and smarts, and you actually have the picture of smartness when you see a beautiful woman. You have a picture of intelligence when you see a beautiful woman. And that is why you pursue her, because you are looking in your life for intelligence, for smarts, for discipline, for faithfulness, for credibility, for responsibility, for something that you can gain that elusive psychological security. And finding a beautiful woman, since beauty represents and translates into all these characteristics that I just named, then you think you should be looking for aesthetically beautiful woman. But in fact, you should be looking for what aesthetically beautiful woman represents in your mind, which is intelligence, which is smartness, which is manners and loyalty and every other support and every other thing that can bring that psychological security. So be smart about it, and to begin with, look deeper and understand that physical beauty is maybe representing pleasure, but does not represent what really beauty's reflection on your consciousness is, which is intelligence and all the other things that we talked about. Think about this and see if it has a merit for you, and perhaps that will help you in your selection or in getting over any kind of a breakup that you may be suffering from, thinking that, oh, I lost a beautiful girl, she was so beautiful. But if she was so beautiful but really did not represent the reality that you expect, the what you're pursuing, what you're looking for, which is the intelligence, then you haven't lost anything really, right? Okay, so wish you have a wonderful evening or day, and hope to talk to you soon.